Now let me show you. I'm going to show you how to disconnect the cables later. In here, it's very simple. It's basically a screwing device that comes from the DC output. But assuming that your unit is already cold, we'll be turning it on, and I'll show you how to turn the unit on. It's a little bit tricky in the sense is that you shouldn't turn on the MCA before you turn on the smartphone. The display has to be such, the sequence has to be such that you press this metal bar that sticks outside, and when the phone display comes on, can you get the display? And give it like about 5 seconds, and then turn on the MCA as you see the circle keep on coming on. And this, if you can show them the buttons in here, this one is first, this one is second, this one is first, and when you want to turn off the device you also hold on to it. This basically turns on and off the phone, so it's a hold switch, and then this one's just on and off. Okay, now it's rebooting. Can you it's loading up the configuration files. Maybe we need to turn on the, I'm going to turn off the lights, Derek. Once I turn off the lights it's easier, I think. Okay, now you can see that this is the main screen of the device. You can see the status screen in here is telling me that the detector is cooled because I've been cooling it overnight since last night to get this demo going. The high voltage is turned off. On the top right hand side in here, left hand side in here, you have the date and the time, which is 11/28/2016, which is November 28th, week after Thanksgiving. And then the time right now is around noon, 11:28 a.m. in the morning. And then the settings menu shows you this snow-like flake. That basically means the detector is cold. The green USB connector in here shows you that you are connected to the MCA, and if this connector symbol would not be green, if it would be amber or orange, then it would tell you that you are not connected to the MCA. It's connected to the MCA. This flashing sign basically tells me that the GPS inside is trying to get a location. I'm indoors right now, so I can't get a location, but I can turn off or on the GPS. I'll show that to you. It's basically the GPS of the phone. And then it's telling you the status 100% charge is not the phone, but the device, which is the battery inside the device responsible for cooling the cryocooler, and the MCA is the cryocooler is 100% charged. Here it tells you the detector status is cooled, high voltage is not turned on, and then it tells you that there is a default library that is loaded in here, which is a nuclide library that is needed for doing analysis work. You can create multiple libraries. We have one library in here. You can create other libraries from the computer. Okay. Then it tells you that we are going to measure a point source geometry, which is going to be located around 10 centimeters, and our measurement time is going to be lifetime. Just for the sake of this test, I have put a 60-second count. Usually you will do at least a 5 or 10 minute count to get a good statistics on your count. And then you scroll down, you see the parameters in here. If you want to see a detailed numbers on all the parameters, you can click on the parameters. Let me go back again and show you. You just click on the screen in here, and then you can by default load the parameters for low count rate or for high count rate. We give you some set parameters, so you don't have to worry about what the pole zero should be, the amplifier gain should be. You can select low or high count rate. For our purposes, we'll select low count rate. It tells you the ADC channels is set to 16384. It's reading 16384. Then I have a lower level discriminator that is set at 15 to cut off the noise. Higher level discriminator at 16,300, which is a little bit below the highest channel. My threshold percent is 0.5. These are explained in the spectra line manual, not in the handy manual, but I think you can go by the default numbers. Then there is a threshold trigger. There is a pole zero number in here. There is a coarse gain of 20, fine gain of 1.0, digital offset, which is 14810. The input polarity here is showing negative. It's important. It's a p-type detector. It doesn't mean the polarity on the high voltage, but it shows you the polarity of the signal that is coming into the amplifier. If it's a p-type detector, it has to be negative. It's an n-type, it's positive. Let's not get this confused with the high voltage bias that is used on the detectors. Shaping time 23.4. This is what we recommend for this setup. Trigger filter, flat top, baseline restoration, and now I've set the high voltage at 2000. If you want to change any of these on the phone, then you need to access it through the password. The default password is 1111. I don't need to change anything, so I'm going to go back in here, and before going into the spectrum, I like to go in and look at something else. There is a dose rate meter in here that is set at 10 microsieverts per hour. So that it alarms, I'm going to set it to a lower value of 0.25. And then there is a Wi-Fi connection in here that you can connect with the computer. I'll show that to you later. So with these parameters in here, I'm going to go in there and put a source. You can stop now.